for you and the team, it must be frustrating that that energy just died down throughout the match. And does it feel like 2 points lost?
I don't agree on what you said. Like in the sense that I don't think the energy went down. I think we just did like 10 minutes in the end of the first half where we weren't the best team. Then we've been the best team for the entire game. The other team scored not even shooting. The only chance that they had is like the post. They had it on the post, and we had like 5 chances in front. At the end, we were pushing, pushing, pushing. It's frustrating. For this one, I agree with you. It's frustrating because we deserved to win and we didn't. But maybe it's a little bit of you know, we were in credit after Wednesday, and then this is getting at the same level of I would say with luck, because today I think it's luck. The two posts that we took, like at the end, the goal the Andres goal would have been a fantastic cherry on top of a performance that it was extremely good in the first 30 minutes. I'm frustrated because it should have been 3-0 for us, and we've been, in my opinion, too soft. With subconsciously, I think we thought it was going to be easier because we arrived always in the box, and we didn't go through with the killer instinct that we should have done, and then what happened is like we have a big chance. We have 5 against 3, and to score, they do a transition. We actually defend pretty well the transition, and then we made an own goal, and that's the story. It's 2 points less because we didn't score the chances that we had. But again, that can happen in a game, and I'm happy that the performance today was actually much better than the last 2 games in LA and against Toronto.
We haven't seen the Christmas tree formation in a while. Could you explain the decision to go back to that? I know Ryan being out must have played a factor.
Yeah, the decision was pretty simple. So offensively was still our formation with the 2 wingbacks and the 2 strikers, kind of a 3-5-2 or 3-3-4, what you want to call it. Defensively, Raposo in the first half and then Sam in the second half dropped in the back four, because I think that at the moment we're not brilliant like we were like a month ago or during the season, and it's hard for us to sustain. We're not pressing like we were pressing before, and if we're not pressing well, it's too easy to play on the wide side to the wingers, and if we play with the back three, you defend always in the box. So that's the reason why we did it, and I think it went extremely well because the only way that they could play was with long ball by Max and try to win those ball, and then in the last 20 minutes it became a little bit more open. You put new players, you try to win a lot of offensive player in, but for the 70 minutes that it was a tactical game, I think it went very well.
Coach, obviously, like you mentioned, a bit of a frustrating result given the way that you guys were sort of dominating for large parts of the game. But what did you make of the impact from the subs, specifically, looking at Eddie on the right and Stu, we got to see him for 20 minutes. It felt like maybe the fans were expecting a little bit more from them, and they weren't necessarily...
I think it's hard to come in sometimes, and especially for new players, because if you played in the team for 3 years, Pedro came on and in 10 minutes he knew exactly what he had to do because he knows everything about the team. Stu and Eddie are a greener player in the team, and they have to think about it a couple of times, and I agree with you, they could have probably a bigger impact. But Eddie went 1-1v1 and made a cross. Stu in possession helped us keeping a little bit of possession. So I think that it's something that we need to live with. Like it's a development. If we want this player to be ready for the playoff, we need to play a little bit now, and they have to play a little bit now. And we're not training because we're playing every 3 days. So it's really hard to teach them how to play in the system, and so of course it's a learning curve for them, and it's totally fine. But even David, for example, has been out of the team a lot, he was a little bit probably not doing exactly what we asked him to do tactically, but he did a couple things on the left that winning the 1v1 and creating the chance basically. So yeah, that's I think that is a step for them towards the development. But I agree with you that they have the potential to contribute much more.
And then talking about the playoffs, you obviously secured your place in the playoffs again, which despite the disappointment from not winning must feel nice. Again, to just get that out of the way. Now it's about focusing on climbing higher up the table. But is a game like this, maybe even the game against Dallas a couple of weeks ago, examples again of maybe that extra little bit of quality that you need to be able to take results, take the wins, especially going into the playoffs where it's win or nothing.
It's maybe, but you brought two games where we didn't have our best player. So that's of course I could say yes. When Ryan is on the field, the quality is a little higher, and Ali is on the field, the quality is a little higher. I think that we showed that. So Portland is a big hype all around the league. Portland can be the dark horse, whatever. We killed them, we destroyed them. That's pretty simple. So I'm just pissed that we didn't win. So I'm actually, I think we're setting up nicely for the playoff. We need now that we secured the first 9, the second step is secure the first 7, and then try to be as high as we can. Everything is there. We're still basically potentially 4th because the 4th is 3 points ahead, and we have a game in hand. But yeah, it's gonna be a fight till the end, and the quality is there. I'm just again, I think today it's a karma thing, and I'm totally fine with that, because if we have to be lucky, much better to be lucky last Wednesday than today.
Speaking of clinching the playoffs, last Wednesday, this kind of Wednesday to Wednesday week, there's a lot of emotion riding in it right now because you have the Canadian Championship, you have clinched a playoff spot, you could have the Cascadia Cup as of this Wednesday. What has been like the emotion going through the team, through yourself and the team? It's
too much, to be honest. It's too much because the emotion they run high because they run high because their game they're so important and everything. There's no time to prepare a game. Honestly, there's no time to prepare games. So I don't want to. But at the same time, I'm happy that we played Wednesday, because if not, it would have been that we weren't in the final. So they didn't play Wednesday, but because I think they were happy. I don't even know if they were in the Open Cup, to be honest. But yeah, that's the. It is what it is. That's the MLS, and luckily we have a lot of players today. I made I think 6 changes from the starting lineup for Wednesday. Expect the same kind number of changes on next game, and luckily we have players that can play. For example, Sebastian Alessandro, that didn't play in the first game in the final. I think they were the best player on the field today.
Vanni, you speak to the play of Andres Cubas. I thought Wednesday very, very good, particularly in terms of trying to get on top of the opposition, break things up, and he was again good tonight. Can you speak to how important he is in the role that he plays?
He's very important, and I think tonight he was much better than last Wednesday. I think Wednesday you saw him losing some duel that he normally doesn't lose, and today we also made this change, so we were defending with 3 midfielders instead of 2, so he had more protection when he wants to get out and win the ball, and I think today was really good. If he would have scored at the end, it would have been fantastic, and it would have been, I would say, the deserved tribute to a very good performance. Unfortunately, the Post said no. But yeah, this is the Andres that we need. This is the Andres that it's going to help us make more points and getting in a better position for the playoff and then winning the playoff. At the end of the day, of course, we try to get 4th to have the home advantage, but I don't think, to be honest, that I think in the Western Conference the 7th can win the playoff, because there's not too much difference between all the team, and So, you know, we're gonna fight to get in the top four, but we are, I think, setting up ourselves nicely. I hope that again, we need Eddie and Stu to be ready to go at the time of the playoff, and that will take probably, having to cope with the fact that now probably they're not ready to play. We have to be honest. They're not ready to play a lot of minutes, but we need them to play a lot of minutes. And again, I think today the team did it nicely for the entire 90 minutes.
Vanni, you mentioned just some frustrations you had around the box. Of course, in the 3 minutes and you score a beautiful goal,
Yeah.
everything just clicked and it was beautiful. What do you kind of make of that, where you score such a goal like that? Do you maybe that kind of factored into the struggles later, where you're kind of looking for a similar perfect result to come together?
Yeah, I think so. I think we were a little bit soft on, instead of being practical, we had the possibility with Fafa after 3 minutes that we score, boom, it's a header in front of the net, it's a sitter. So unfortunately we didn't do it. We had 3 or 4 crosses that went into the box. We've been a little bit naive a couple of times, like when the long ball, Max missed the header. I think Levy could have done better instead of making a foul. But again, it is what it is. I turned back to Mike and Brendan. It was like minute 12. I say, we already make more attacking actions that we did last Wednesday. So, he was. From that way, he was okay. I think again was very unfortunate. Brian taking the post, the other one after the long throw that Brian shot, he went out for a millimeter. So it's. And then they score without shooting. So that's I'm okay. I think it's a karma thing, and we accept it.
I guess just to the point about the second goal their goal right before they of course scored, and it was offside, and you seemed quite animated about something that went on with the switch and the way.
I was animated because we were losing too much the ball. We were having the ball, and we were losing, in my opinion, not doing the right choices, because that's the only way they could get us. And that's the reason why I think, again, we need to be more practical. And instead, I think in a couple of occasions, we tried to be beautiful. And that's a very Vancouver thing. And but probably we needed to be a little bit more on point.
Apologies if you already asked this. The atmosphere, what did you make of it tonight? I was talking to Phil, and he likened it to kind of a playoff atmosphere as both teams were
The atmosphere was really good.
trying to get to the playoff.
The stadium full, pushing and everything, having away fans too. No, I really liked it. And I think, I think that's the reason why we were pushing in the last 10-15 minutes, even if we were more tired than them, because we played in the Wednesday, because the fans helped a lot. And if it would have been a playoff game, it would have been a penalty. And I like my chance when we go to penalty, to be honest.
All right. Thanks, Vanni.
Thank you.
My bad. We do